A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene with you once again. We have gotten over the middle of the week, and today is game day in the NFL. We've got football back. College football as well.
Can you call this football, though? I mean, it's the Eagles and the Giants. I mean, is anybody, rushing home from work today to see this?
No.
But it is for first place in the NFC East.
I mean, Eagles fans will be rushing home to watch this.
Will they, though?
It's one of the few games that they should win. So I have to imagine there are probably a few that are excited.
Well, one way or the other, the NFC East is going to get their fifth win of the year. The 7th week of the season.
Yep.
5 wins in 7 weeks.
Well, they're already up to 5. This will be 6.
6 wins in 7 weeks.
Don't sell them short. They have so few losses or so few wins already. Don't sell them short.
They're going to break every divisional record ever in this god-awful division. I don't even want to analyze this game, to be really honest. I mean, is it the first one to 20 points wins?
Maybe.
I mean, what's the over-under on this game? 23?
45.
That's gross. Yeah, it's first one to 23 wins.
Yeah.
Poor Joe Buck. Let me not see my house for 2 weeks, and the coup de grace is the Giants and the Eagles.
Yep, bouncing back and forth between football and the World Series.
There's very little that would make me go, man, I miss baseball. But Giants-Eagles football might do that.
Well, we got college football tonight as well. We got Appalachian State and Arkansas State. Appalachian playing for the first time in a month.
Sunbelt football.
It's fun.
I actually like it, personally.
I told you.
I said the Sunbelt. Hey, there ain't nobody that's been higher on the Sunbelt than this guy.
I was the first to tell you, though, week 2. Sunbelt football is fun. And you can undersell it all you want to, but it is a lot of fun. And tonight we will find out. Will this be a track meet between these two teams, or will Appalachian State play some defense? Because we know Arkansas State doesn't play defense.
No, not something they do well.
There was 109 points, I believe, scored in their last game with Georgia State.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points. The over-under in this game is 67.5, and they might hit that in the third quarter. I think Appalachian State is going to drag them down the sidewalk.
I think they should, whether they do or not. I mean, a month layoff, that's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time to get healthy, too.
True.
I mean, maybe I'm looking at that from the wrong perspective, but it's just what you're going to have to get used to this year. There's going to be layoffs like this. Good teams are going to adjust to it well, like the Tennessee Titans did.
Mm-hmm.
Bad teams are not going to adjust to it well.
So if you get bored by the NFC East first place showdown,
and you will,
then Arkansas State and Appalachian State may give you the fireworks that you've been looking for.
Ugh. I still can't get past Eagles-Giants. Daniel Jones versus Carson Wentz. Who will throw the most interceptions? How many sacks can happen in one NFL game?
God, in the national radio show this morning on ESPN talking about Jalen Hurts. We need to see more Jalen Hurts. And we don't need to see him in these
because he's not
Wildcat.
a fucking quarterback.
We don't need
Stop it with that.
We don't need to see him in these Wildcat formations. We need to actually see him under center so we can know what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, and you know who says that? You know who says that? And I'm really tired of being nice about this. People that have played way too much Madden. And they go, oh, look, he runs a 4.5 40. Yeah, and he couldn't throw it from here to the end of the driveway. He's not an NFL quarterback. I said it the whole time. And the fact the Eagles used a 2 on him when their receiving core looks like the 3 people that work on this show tells you why they're so bad.
Oh, no, and for the Giants, it's Daniel Jones, and he just doesn't have enough weapons. No, he's bad.
Carson Wentz looks at the Giants and goes, good God, I wish I had their weapons. Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram, Golden Tate. I mean, I know Sterling Shepard's been hurt for the 11th time in his career, but, I mean, good Lord. Carson Wentz would kill to have what Daniel Jones is throwing to.
Right. Carson Wentz is standing over here going, I'm throwing to Travis Fulgham.
And that's my one. Greg Ward's my two. He was a quarterback. He was Jalen Hurts before Jalen Hurts was out of diapers.
Mm-hmm. Travis Fulgham is the leading receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ugh.
You got him? Ronnie's got him in fantasy.
I have him in a couple fantasy leagues.
Just
not because I wanted
necessity.
to. Just, hey, he's a guy. He does sports ball things. Because I've got some teams that are dead.
Mm-hmm.
I love looking at my whole bench going, wow, they're all on IR and I can't drop any of them. Sweet.
Yep.
Ugh.
Fantasy football this year has been just brutal.
Football's been brutal this year.
Really?
Think about the two teams I pull for. We're a combined 2-9. Mm-hmm. And one of those wins was against something called a Jacksonville State. And the other one was against a Carolina team that I like a lot. And we didn't mean to.
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
No faith in your team. No faith that they found something.
What faith should I have in my team? We could very easily have lost to Jacksonville State.
Could have.
We lost to Georgia Tech that just got beat by Clemson 140-11 to 6.
Mm-hmm. But the last time out, you did beat a good team, so
we didn't mean to. We didn't mean to do anything right because we're Florida State and that's what we do. I can't wait for basketball season. There's something I never thought I'd say.
Right.
Growing up a Florida State fan, I never thought the day would come that I would go, this football shit's for the birds. Can we get to basketball season now?
Well, unfortunately, we're still a month away from basketball season. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Of course I am.
He's still salty about the fact that he didn't get a championship last year.
I did get a championship. It's in the rafters, and you can kiss my ass. Am I pissed that we didn't get a national title? Yes, I am. Because last year was probably our best shot at that ever.
No, you got one of those.
No, we got one of those imitation Central Florida ones. Nobody beat us. Yeah, you didn't beat anybody either. So, calm your cheat.
Oh, come on. The state legislature says it's so. It's got to be so.
Oh, yeah, and I love the government so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Giants and Eagles tonight. You got the Arkansas State Red Wolves going up against Appalachian State in college football. No World Series tonight because tonight's a travel night.
Yeah, in spite of the fact they're not traveling anywhere, for one. And two, they just didn't want to go up against football. And, frankly, probably the smartest thing baseball's done in my lifetime.
Actually, this would have been the night to do it. This would have been the night to go against
No, it wouldn't have.
Why not?
No, it wouldn't have. You don't want to go against anything. Did you see the number for Game 1?
No.
It was the lowest rated World Series game ever! Since they invented televisions, there has never been a lower rated World Series game. You don't want to go against the World Series of Dice. You don't want to go up against a Teletubbies reunion. You want there to be nothing on television. Because if there's anything else people have proven, they'll watch that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not going to be good for the weekend then.
No, oh, no. The weekend's going to be a nightmare. Oh, my God. The number Saturday? Holy shit. They may get a hockey number on Saturday. And people ask, why am I so dismissive of baseball? That's why. You don't watch it.
Because nobody watches, yeah.
You don't watch it, so why the hell would I talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bet the game last night, and I'm even sitting here going, I don't know who the hell this guy is. I don't know who he is. He could be a serial killer for all I know. He may not even belong on the team. He could Borat shit and just show up in a nanner hammock and be like, I play sports ball. They're good. I like.
Jeremy's all jazzed up about tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait. Borat 2 tomorrow.
Borat 2 release.
Especially after I found out they got Rudy Giuliani. Have you heard this story?
I've
oh,
heard,
my God.
Yes.
So in the movie, he has she's supposed to be 15. She's like 39 years old.
I think she's 24.
Well, according to one thing I read, she's like 39 years old.
Oh, wow.
She has no IMDb, so none of us really know how old she is. She got Rudy Giuliani to take her back to his hotel room. They do an interview. She takes his mic off, and there's a video of him, reaching in to fiddle with the trouser snake. So he says he was tucking in his shirt. She says he was going to wah wah wee wah. Mm-hmm. You make up your own mind. We've been excited about how he got Mike Pence. Nope. I don't think he got Mike Pence, but he sure as hell got Rudy Giuliani.
You're so obsessed with this thing. And that's the thing. Now I have to go watch Borat.
The fact you haven't watched the first one, like, frankly, you should let Ron take your seat and go do that right now. I'll put you on conversation probation since you haven't seen Borat. He's very nice.
Like I said, I remember seeing bits and pieces, but I don't know that I ever saw the whole
I
thing.
don't know how you could have started that movie and gone, nope, I'm going to do something else now.
Sometimes things are just too stupid for me.
You get one of those. You get one of those without me making jokes. Wah wah wee wah. Mm-hmm. Great success.
Proving my point.
Very excited. Like you. I wanted to do this whole show as Borat, so you should be very thankful that I didn't do that.
I guess the big trending news in the NFL yesterday was Antonio Brown.
Stop doing that! He's a crazy person.
The Seattle Seahawks.
I literally am starting to feel like the NFL is like the gullible 25-year-old person in every one of our lives that keeps giving dollars to the homeless guy outside the liquor store. Mm-hmm. He's hungry. No, he's thirsty and he wants vodka. And you just gave him enough for a half a pint. That's the NFL. You're giving dollars to this crazy person. Mm-hmm. And he's going to do dumb shit with it. That's what he does. He's out of his mind.
Antonio Brown comes off of the league suspension in week 9. And so the talk is that the Seattle Seahawks are positioned to sign him.
I hope it happens.
It's going to happen.
I hope it happens. Just because I need something to typhoon the Seahawks team. Bad. I need it bad.
You think that's going to be enough? You think Antonio Brown is going to be enough to
He might set the building on fire. He's that insane. I know he's talented. Bill Belichick looked at him, and I want you to think about the receivers on that team. They have N'Keal Harry, Julian Edelman, who's about as athletic as a wet fart, and Damiere Byrd? Mm-hmm. And they looked at Antonio Brown and went, mm-mm.
Well, I mean, that was kind of...
And he was already in the building, too.
That was kind of a reason for that, though. I mean, when you're accused of sexual assault, you can't really stick with that guy.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But he went on the NFI list just like Josh Gordon did. Mm-hmm. And they could have held on to him. If they thought in any way that he could possibly be innocent, they could have held on to him. Mm-hmm. It would have cost them nothing. They paid him to go away. They paid him $8 million. They didn't have to go away.
Because that's what you
And
do.
they have one of the worst receiving corps in the league. That should tell you everything you need to know. But Pete Carroll, being old Johnny Rah-Rah that he is, I can fix him.
Yep.
Yeah, it worked well at USC, didn't it? They just now have their full complement of scholarships based on with Pete Carroll's time there.
And apparently Antonio Brown is friends with Russell Wilson. Who was the other one you said?
Geno Smith. I love how in every story I read they said he's friends with Russell Wilson and Geno Smith.
Like Geno Smith matters.
That's like saying somebody was friends with Puff Daddy and Mace. Who gives a... Mace? Isn't he the manager at a Walmart now? More money, more problems.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Antonio Brown being added to any team is not a good idea. And I don't see the need for the Seahawks here. I mean, your offense is already the best in the league, or one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and your defense is god awful. I mean, frighteningly bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was my number one question. Do they think he can play corner? Because that's what they need. They need to find them a good old corner.
No, they realize that they're not going to be able to stop anybody, so we need to add another weapon to try to score more points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to have to outscore everybody they play.
Yes.
Because they can't. They couldn't stop a nosebleed with a roll of dish rags.
I mean, that's the path they're already on, though. They're just embracing the suck at this point on defense.
Our producer Ron just sent me all of Bruce Arians' quotes about Antonio Brown. We don't need him. Not enough money. Not a fit for our locker room. No. No. I mean, that would have been my response.
Mm-hmm.
I did discover last night that I think Billy Bob Thornton and I are the same person.
Okay.
He's got a new show on Amazon Prime that's it's not new. It's new to me. Sorry. And it's fantastic.
And is this the lawyer movie?
Yes.
The lawyer show?
And it's fantastic. It's amazing, and I think it was loosely based on me. I think if Billy Bob Thornton and I ever meet each other, we'll be best friends immediately. Because we're two of the surliest humans I know.
Mm-hmm.
Just hate everything and everyone, and I'm here for it.
The Seahawks are, like I said, embracing the suck, and that's their plan. It's just to outscore everybody you play.
Well, I mean, you have to.
Well, of course
they don't have another choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at this point, that defense is so bad that you're not going to fix it. I mean, you tell me, all right, let's say Khalil Mack falls out of the sky. Does that make them better? Makes them a little better.
A little better.
Does it make the defense good?
No. But do you think Antonio will go to the Seahawks, or is all this just?
I
bluster?
still have a funny feeling he winds up with the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't see a path of Antonio Brown looking at two young guys in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who are both probably better than him right now, and going, yeah, I'm going to sit behind that. There's something about that ego that has never struck me. I get that he's friends with Russ. I get it. He's the dude in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn who gets healthy. I don't care who comes back.
Mm-hmm.
He's the dude. And I just have this funny feeling that's where he's going to wind up.
Yeah. I mean, the guy hasn't played in, he played one game.
Great success.
One game last year. And other than that, I don't know. I mean, I get that he's an all-world wide receiver. And he's going to put up numbers. That's why every fantasy league you're in, you went yesterday to check, and more than likely he was already gone.
Yep, and I went, good for you. That's fine. You're going to hold his dumbass for 2 weeks? That's cool. You have fun with that. I hope I play you. Because that's one roster spot. You don't have a guy that can help you at all.
Mm-hmm. But is it worth the gamble?
No. Not right now. Now, if he signs with a team, sure. Because right now you had a series of people in your leagues that picked him up, and they're going to go, oh, shit, I don't have a kicker. And they're going to drop the guy that's not on a team. I understand being the first one out there. If you picked him up yesterday, that is called an overreaction. I don't buy it. And I'll be honest with you, in Seattle, I don't love him as the 3. If he signs with Seattle, I don't think he's overly fantasy relevant anyway. And who's he going to take targets away from? DK Metcalf? No. DK Metcalf's 23 years old, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And built like a Terminator. They're not taking targets away from him. Tyler Lockett's one of the best route runners in the league. You're not taking targets away from him. I mean, he's going to be – now Josh Gordon, if you still have him, you kiss that shit goodbye. Because old How High ain't going to see a target for the rest of the year. He'll be out there with Cheech and Chong in the back of somebody's van rolling doobies.
I think maybe Josh Gordon needs to get with Antonio Brown.
Well, now what? Now I will say
maybe
what
some weed would chill him out.
Now I will say what Des Sarah just said. I'll give you that. If you're stacked and you had, I'm trying to even think of a guy that I'm just Zach Moss, a guy that I'm just totally out on, and you cut him and pick up Antonio Brown. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the you know, that's okay. But if you're cutting anybody that matters, you're doing your own.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Yesterday when we were talking on the ESPN Asheville show, I came up with the Philadelphia Eagles and who was the other team? Baltimore Ravens off the top of my head. Now, Ron says maybe the Saints.
Here, and I saw that. The only thing I'm going to say to that is, how many times in the history of Drew Breesdom have there ever been 3 fantasy-relevant targets on the same team? I'll give you a hint. The answer is 0. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's taken away from Emmanuel Sanders. I don't think, and he sure as hell ain't taken away from Michael Thomas. So I don't buy the Saints. Sean Payton doesn't do headaches like that well. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have the patience for it. And I'm totally fine with that. I think it's why part of the reason he's been such a successful coach in this league is because he looks at guys like that and for exactly what they are. You're a headache. You're a headache that distracts from the team goal. Mm-hmm. I'm good.
I don't see
why and now Ron has a good point. He did have to try to have Dez Bryant. You know, he brought in Dez Bryant, who blew out his Achilles. Here's the thing. Dez Bryant was never he talked too much, but he was never a headache. Antonio Brown can be a cancer, a malignant cancer. I mean, this is a guy that was filming the coach in the locker room. Those are things that it's not even an unwritten rule. You just don't do it. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't care. You know, this is a guy that films himself on the front steps of his house, kicking out his baby mama with the cops called. Talking immortal amounts of shit. What about it? What this dude has done in the last 18 months makes me go, yeah, I want that. You know, from freezing his foot off with the Raiders to just being an absolute train wreck. Mm-hmm. Why? Why would I want to do that?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I can't wrap my head around it.
Hey, it's a very Jetsy thing to do. Let's do that. That'd be fun. Let's add him to that dumpster fire. We already tried Le'Veon Bell. That worked out great.
That's actually one place he could probably go burn the building down and nobody would care.
I personally
Except for
would.
The Giants. The Giants would care.
Well, we have different buildings. If he burns the stadium down, that's one thing, but we have completely different buildings.
Okay.
You know, I mean, here's the thing. I look at it and go, there's no point. Mm-hmm. And I will say this. Was it a year and a half ago? We were talking about who is the bigger malcontent, Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown. It's mm-hmm. Antonio Brown. It's not close. Mm-hmm. It's not even vaguely close. You know, Antonio Brown's a dumpster fire wrapped inside a train wreck, doused with dumpster juice. Le'Veon Bell, have you heard anything he said in the last 3 days?
No.
Le'Veon Bell might be the classiest running back in the NFL. And I know Steeler fans don't want to hear that because he sat out a year and he was a malcontent and all that. The man just wanted to get paid. And you know why he wanted to get paid? Because this is what happens to running backs. He spent a year with the Jets, and now think about where you have Le'Veon Bell in terms of the best running backs in the NFL. How many are ahead of him?
Oh, God.
20?
Probably, I was going to say 15 at least.
15 or 20. This was the best running back in the league, arguably. And there were guys you could argue Saquon, you could argue Zeke. Mm-hmm. But he's top 5. And if anybody told you he wasn't a top 5 running back, you'd tell them they're out of their mind. And you wouldn't listen to another word they said. He goes to the Jets, has one shitty year, and now he's in the 20s.
Yep.
And he just signed for $1 million with the Chiefs. All right, let's say, argument's sake, let's say he comes out this year for the Chiefs and is just gangbusters. Unbelievable. As good as he was in Pittsburgh. What kind of deals did he get this offseason? I have a number in my head. Just
really?
Let that be known. $8 million? I don't think it's that high. Ron said $8 million. I think it's 6. I think if he comes out and is the best running back he could possibly be, $6 million. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why the man wanted his money. He got overweight with the Jets, had a bad season, and now he's damaged goods, and he always will be. Mm-hmm. Because he's going to be 28 when he signs his next contract. And running backs age like dairy products. So, I mean, and now you hear he won't say anything negative about the Jets, in spite of the fact that he should, and if I were him, would. Mm-hmm. He's just high road. I'm playing with Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid now. You know, thank them for their time. Didn't work out. On to Kansas City. Hell yes. That was a little aside that I was thinking about last night when I watched heard Le'Veon's little interview and went, well, damn it. Now I can't even not like you.
Mm-hmm. I'll bet Andy Reid had something to do with that, too.
I doubt it.
I'll bet that was a conversation.
I'll be honest with you. Le'Veon's whole time in New York never said a word to the media. Tweeted a little bit, I will say he tweets too much, but so does our sitting president. So I can't really judge you for that. He never said anything to the media, and trust me, we have a lot of media.
Mm-hmm.
Never said a word. I wish him well in Kansas City. I hope he's a Pro Bowler in Kansas City, just to show Joe Douglas, hey, this is what happens when you keep around old googly eyes. Doesn't know where he is half the time. He's probably got a drug problem, or that would explain it way better. You're either addicted to something or you're an idiot. I don't know which one it is.
Right.
Or both. Could be both.
Could be both.
And that was my little jet rant for the day.
I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work great for Le'Veon Bell.
Here's the thing. He's better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yes.
And he's going to be better between the tackles than Edwards-Helaire. And he allows Edwards-Helaire to be I've thought about this a lot the last few days. He allows Edwards-Helaire to learn from the best at the best way Edwards-Helaire can be a good running back. I mean, really think about it. They took him in the first round. The best Edwards-Helaire could ever be is a clone of Le'Veon Bell. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Okay, so you're going to learn from the best for 10 games. As you come in and look like a bag of penises running between guards for 4 of the 6 games you played. It's brilliant. It's why Andy Reid's so good.
Yep.
Todd Whelan, yes, fire him away. I will answer start set questions anytime. I love fantasy football, and so far this year I've been real bad at it, but I'm good for everybody else. I'm shocked you didn't want to talk more about baseball.
I don't.
I had fully planned on walking off this set and getting a cup of coffee.
I don't. I mean, last night the Rays won. Blake, I'm not going to play for any less than what I signed for Snell. Came in and he was dominant in game 2. Rays win. On to the next one. We got to rest up on the travel day, and then we're right back to it for game 3.
In the same stadium.
In the same
So
stadium.
short travel.
Bookie did not look good last night.
Who?
Bookie.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Your bookie? Your bookie didn't look good? Was he a little hungover?
You talking about Mookie Betts?
Yeah, I call him Bookie.
Oh, he's
he
talking about
combines
Mookie
his
Betts.
name.
Yes.
I was like, who the hell's Bookie?
I was about to say, if your bookie didn't look good, you should probably not be talking on this show because this will tell you where you are. As somebody that's had a few interactions with bookies over my life, you should change your name and figure out what the acronym WITSEC stands for.
No, I mean Mookie's he's fine. He looked great in game 1. Game 2 didn't go his way. You can't expect him to be everything game in and game out. Absolutely, you should be okay with it as a Rays fan. Because I think the Rays are going to win this series. And all right, on to football.
Is it? I'm going to change the subject because you're talking about baseball and my brain's starting to press against my skull. Is Ryan Fitzpatrick the classiest player in the NFL?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anybody more so?
Do you see his comment?
Oh my God, that it broke his heart that the
It
Dolphins
broke my
and
heart reading
well, I mean, first of all, he's one of the greatest guys ever. I can tell you when he was with the Jets, everybody loved him.
When he was my Bucks, he was, yeah.
When he was with the Jets, everybody loved him. And, we screwed him. Miami didn't screw him. Miami benched him for a rookie. He might say he didn't see this coming, and he might not have seen it coming when it happened. He knew that, writing's on the wall. I'm getting God eventually. With the Jets, there's new things.
Oh, there's new things.
We're having things thrown at us.
Oh, it's the Because Baseball t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, I got more.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, I like these.
Oh, new logo.
The new
Dig
logo.
it.
Yeah.
The Sportsocracy.
I want to put this
You
one
wanna put it
over
on the
things.
table?
Yes, I do.
Here, move your don't spill it on the floor like I did
Yeah.
my coffee earlier.
Sorry, there's only one drunk that tends to spill things on this show. Boop.
Sorry.
For all your printing needs, see Robbie Wright at
Showtime.
Showtime. There we go. Showtime Sports. It's early in the morning. One of our favorite, and go see him at the Asheville Mall at the Big Orange Tent.
There
If you're
you
buying
go.
a Halloween costume and you're not doing it from Robbie Wright, you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely. Halloween Express, the Big Orange Tent, open at the Asheville Mall once again.
You listen to me about a lot of things, and whether you follow my advice or not, that's fine. If you don't listen to anything else I ever say, Buy your Halloween things from Robbie Wright at the Big Orange Tent in the Asheville Mall parking lot.
If it's not the big orange tent, then you did it wrong.
He has a whole aisle that scares the heebie-jeebies out of me, so I have to avoid that.
Oh, there's a clown section.
Yes, there is,
Like
and
it.
it's the thing that my nightmares are made of.
Shop local.
Always shop local.
That's right. But back to your question, no, Ryan Fitzpatrick, yes, I think he is one of the most stand-up guys in the league. And, you know, I kind of felt bad for him when he said that it broke his heart that they made this decision. But I think more he's looking at it as, this is it for me. Is there another spot where I'm going to be able to catch on? Is this the last time that I'm going to be the fill-in guy?
And it very well could be. I mean, if you told me Ryan Fitzpatrick never took another snap in the NFL, would I be shocked?
No.
No.
He's 37
If you
years
told me
old.
he was somebody's quarterback's coach next year, would I be shocked? Not in the least. This is a Harvard graduate that started for, I don't know, a quarter of the teams in the NFL.
Right.
And everywhere he's ever left, they loved him.
But he's
The
just,
one contentious separation was with the Jets, and let's be honest, nobody leaves the Jets and's happy.
Yeah.
They're happy to be leaving.
Yeah.
They're very happy to be leaving.
beat me
They're
to
very dissatisfied. Yeah, fuck you. I see a setup for a Jets joke every time.
They're all happy to leave. They're never happy that they're there. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean,
Somebody, I'm trying to see. Chuck Glenn just said we need to put a clown mask on a bird to really scare me. I will shoot that thing and beat it to death with a stick.
clown birds.
Out. No clown bird. I don't do clowns and I don't do birds. I'm out. Thank you, Chuck Glenn. You just gave them something for the rest of eternity.
Yep. I think this could be his last ride.
I do
and
too.
I think that's why he's saying he's heartbroken. It's not because of Tua. It's not because he feels slighted. I think it's because he realizes that this is the end of the road. This is probably the last chance he's the starter for anybody. Now, can he go in and be the backup for anybody? Absolutely. He could be the backup for anybody probably till he's 42.
That wouldn't shock me.
Right.
First of all, he's in great shape. God, he's 37
He
years
is
old.
37 years old. And as you said, he's played for 8-9 teams in the NFL. And he's the guy that you want to solidify a room with. And that's why I said yesterday that I think he's the perfect guy to have coached Tua for the few short weeks that he's been there. And now he's going to be the backup for the rest of the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if he hung on as the backup to Tua for another year.
I'll tell you a fun stat I heard about Ryan Fitzpatrick yesterday.
Okay.
Do you realize he has more passing yards than Phil Simms, Steve Young, Y.E. Tittle, Troy Aikman, and Ken Anderson? All of them. He is in the top. He's 31st all-time in passing yards. I mean, somebody said something about him being in the Hall of Fame. He'll never be in the Hall of Fame.
No.
But he will be looked at as he's a really good version of Steve DeBerg.
Okay.
When Steve DeBerg played for 48 teams and played till he was 70. He wasn't that old. He's 46, I think.
Somewhere in there.
But that's how he's going to be viewed. And he was always a team guy. He was always a class guy. I think this guy, damn it, Ron, or somebody, I don't know who just said that to me. There's a clown on my screen, and I don't like it. Damn it.
Oh, that's great.
You know, you would think that somebody being open and honest about the things that frighten them in this world would be a positive. Not for me.
No. When it's irrational shit like birds and squirrels, we're going to laugh and
Squirrels,
make fun
I'll
of you.
give you. I had a weird experience with a squirrel when I was a kid. And shut up, Ron. I'm not saying I said that well. I'm just saying I said it.
Wait, was it a squirrel or a gerbil?
Oh.
Oh, see, this is why we don't talk about our feelings on this show, because they're
He really-
used against you.
He really liked the gerbils, but switched to the squirrels because he thought the fuzzy tail would be better. But
This has just gone down a whole path, hasn't it?
that's what they call the Kentucky tickler.
He gets one joke a month. He gets one joke a month that's not just painfully stupid, and that was very well timed.
Oh, God. Anywho,
Patrick Holt just said that's what happens when you don't ride a bike until you're old enough to drive a car.
Thank you, Patrick.
On our ESPN show yesterday, I disclosed that I was 14 years old before I learned to ride a bike, and that's become a thing. My mentions on Twitter yesterday were humorous.
I can imagine so.
I don't even know what we were talking about.
We've
gone
Ryan
down a
Fitzpatrick.
bicycle, squirrel, clown, just cluster, cluck, all kinds of things.
Yep. We were talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick and being heartbroken that they took his. See, that was the thing that stuck out to me. It wasn't so much the heart. Everybody wants to focus on the decision was heartbreaking. The part that I focused on was the part where he said they took my team away from me. Like
that
he
part
was
got
more
me.
upset. He wasn't upset that he wasn't going to be on the field. He was more upset that he wasn't going to be the leader anymore. He understands that the starting quarterback has to be the leader of a team. And once you relinquish that to someone else, that guy has to be the leader of the team. You can no longer be the leader of the team. And to me,
don't
that's
agree with what you just said.
Really?
I think Ryan Fitzpatrick's still the captain of this team.
Okay.
I know he's not on the field, but he is going to be integral in how Tagovailoa molds himself into an NFL starting quarterback.
Right.
He has a very big voice in that room, and people will listen to him for better or worse.
They will.
And I think he's had his, he was open and honest about how he felt. I think the guys in the locker room are going to appreciate that, and I think it's going to keep him with a voice in that locker room.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll have a voice in the locker room, but it won't be as strong because I think he'll be kind of what we imagine the perfect scenario of a president and vice president should be. Like if the vice president is, really, really smart, he's going to be the guy whispering into the president's ear saying, hey, this is what we need to do. This is how you need to go about it. And I think that's what this is going to be. This is going to be Fitzpatrick telling Tua what he needs to do to be the leader of this team because he realizes that the starting quarterback has to be the leader.
His analogy was just a president and a vice president.
Mm-hmm.
In my lifetime, we've gone from Reagan to Bush to Clinton to Bush Jr. to Obama to Trump. If this is evolution, we're going to be running house plants in about 2 election cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure that's what I would have gone with.
No, I'm saying that's why I said
I
that's what we imagine it should be.
Yeah,
it's never been that.
I don't think anybody imagined. I mean, sure, in a perfect world, we don't live in a perfect world, but I mean, the thing to me about this is if there was ever a book written on how to handle rookie quarterbacks, I think Brian Flores is the one that should write it. Because the more I've thought about this, the more I think he handled this perfectly. Tua, he's seen him in practice, he's seen him get hit, he's seen him on, with the red jersey on, with the red jersey off.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point he has to feel really good about what his medical team is telling him. And your ceiling with it, I don't even want to know.
Keep him coming.
And the ceiling with Ryan Fitzpatrick is much lower than it is with Tua Tagovailoa.
Right.
The worst case scenario here, let's say Tua wins 2 games for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They still play the Jets, so they're going to win at least 1. Worst case scenario, you go 6-10, and he got 10 games of starting experience under his belt, and the team's going to be better next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a negative in that. I really don't.
I don't either. The only negative is if he gets hurt, and at some point you have to rip that Band-Aid off and figure out, can he withstand it?
I agree.
And that's up to your medical staff. And if the medical staff says he's ready to go and the coach feels like it's not that big of a risk, then who am I to say they're doing it wrong? I felt like a couple of weeks ago, if they made this decision, it would be the wrong decision. But now I have to trust in them, and everybody else does as well. Because I think whenever, Tua's like the little baby bird. Let's use that analogy. He's like the little baby bird leaving the nest. And when you figure out it's time, you got to see if he flies.
I'm so glad it's Thursday. Because I'm like Friday level ready to strangle you. And your little baby bird smart-ass analogies are not making it any better. I still maintain I've never seen a baby pigeon. They're government drones for surveillance, I'm convinced.
Government drones.
Every pigeon I've ever seen looks exactly the same, and I've never seen a baby one. I'd never thought of that until somebody pointed it out to me. And then I went and buried all my money in mayonnaise jars outside of my house. I mean, there wasn't much, but what little there was, I put it in a mayonnaise jar outside the house.
There's possibly some good news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming up this weekend.
What they play the Raiders and their whole team's dead.
Yep. The Raiders have no offensive line right now. They sent everybody on the offensive line, all 5 starters, home yesterday. Trent Brown has been placed on the COVID list, and because of contact tracing, of course, all of his fellow linemen have been sent home. And John Gruden's statement yesterday was, hopefully we'll get some of them back for Sunday.
God, I hope they don't. That would be fantastic. There's got a bunch of linebackers out there. I boo-booed that one.
They've got the whole scout team offensive line in there for a game against a team that just looked like a Super Bowl contender on defense against the Green Bay Packers. I like the way this is shaping up.
Ron mentioned this to me this morning, and I meant to look and see. Do you know that that's only moved the line of this game a point?
Really?
You're only a 4-point favorite, and they may or may not have a legitimate offensive lineman in that game.
Well, it's still 4 days away, so
That's fine. I mean, you can bet it right now. Not telling you to bet it, but bet it.
Well, you don't want to. I guess you don't want to overreact because it could turn out 2 days
I don't
from
care.
now.
I don't care. They've had a whole day without a lineman in the building. That's plenty for me.
Okay.
Because you know who you still have? Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett. That's plenty for me. That's fine. I'll be honest with you. People have been asking me fantasy football questions in the comments. I don't start a Raider this week not named Darren Waller. I might play Josh Jacobs. I don't even want to go back to that screen.
Sorry.
There's a screen where we can all see the things that we send each other through the show. I don't even want to know.
Oh, it's beautiful. God bless America is all I got to say. Jeez.
Is it a damn eagle?
It is an eagle with a clown face.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
If that doesn't make you feel patriotic, nothing will. Oh yeah, this COVID shit. It's hit the Las Vegas Raiders pretty hard, and if they don't have an offensive line this week, I feel way better about that game.
Yeah, I didn't feel great about the Raiders in this game in the first place. Now I feel markedly worse.
Baker Mayfield, your favorite quarterback in the NFL, says 4-2 feels like 0-6.
It looks like 0-6 too.
They're not getting any. They're not getting any respect for the 4 wins that they have.
That's because they haven't beaten anybody.
And Odell Beckham Jr. said it. I'm tired of losing to bad teams.
They said, "I'm pissed."
Well, first
Yeah,
off,
sure
I mean,
you are.
if we rewind to last year, it was OBJ saying, "I'm sick and tired of losing." Period. Now it's, "I'm sick and tired of losing to good teams." Well, you're on a bad team. Well, actually, you're on a good team with a bad quarterback, and that's why you lose to good teams.
Look, Odell Beckham's been getting shit on since he came to Cleveland.
Oh,
I couldn't help it. It was right there. I took it.
It's in the Steamer Hall of Fame.
Cleveland's
I'm
a
surprised they
disaster.
don't have,
Cleveland's a disaster.
OBJ #1 Steamer
Oh,
shirts.
I'm sure they do. I mean, Cleveland's a disaster, in my opinion. That was one of the questions on national ESPN this morning. The Cleveland Browns are blank.
Oh.
And every time I heard that question, I just at my radio yelled, "Bad! They're bad!" There's not another answer to that. I don't care if they go 10-6. They're going to play a good team in the playoffs and get drilled because they have Baker freaking Mayfield as their quarterback.
Yep. Again, I've said it before. I believe in this team, shy of the quarterback. They have so many weapons, it should work.
If Sam Darnold was their quarterback, they'd be a Super Bowl contender. And I firmly believe that.
You keep saying that, and I don't know that you're wrong.
I know I'm not wrong. I've watched every game, every snap Sam Darnold's ever taken in his career. If he had weapons like that, we would be talking about how that was such a great #1 pick and how he's an elite quarterback in the league. But he doesn't. He's stuck with a god-awful roster. And here's the thing. Cleveland took Baker over Sam Darnold. I told you the next day. Nightmare. Nightmare scenario. You took the worst quarterback in this draft class outside of Josh Rosen ahead of three that are far superior to me. Darnold, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. I didn't have Lamar Jackson in there at the time, but I do now. And I don't even think he's half of what people think he is. He's markedly better than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And when you make decisions like this in the draft, this is what happens. I mean, really think about that. Had they taken Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield, think about how differently we would look at this team.
Oh, markedly. Absolutely.
It's the reason you can't screw up number 1 overall picks.
Yeah, but well, yeah, okay. I was gonna start to come back. Well, do you think that all the coaching changes and the flux that has been there would have affected a different quarterback the same way?
What?
Like we look at Sam Darnold right now and look at it and say he's not good, but it's because of the coaching and the staff
Because
that's
Adam
around
Gase
him and
was
the
terrible.
weapons that are around him and all of that. So, do you think that he would have had the same kind of trajectory had he gone to Cleveland, where he had Hugh Jackson for the first year,
Hugh
Freddie
Jackson's
Kitchens
better
for the
than Adam
second
Gase.
year,
Hillbilly hand fishing is better than Adam
than Adam
Gase.
Gase?
I never can remember his name, so I just call him Hillbilly hand fishing.
Right.
It's Freddie Kitchens. Yeah, he's better than Adam Gase.
Okay.
In my opinion, Sam Darnold was like a Fabergé egg. The only way you could screw it up is to break it. And that's exactly what the Jets did. In Cleveland, I mean, it's really hard to be bad when you have Jarvis Landry and even David Njoku and Odell Beckham for the last 2 years. And now you got Jack Conklin at right tackle and the kid I didn't like coming out of Jedrick Wills at left tackle. I mean, there's weapons and there's talent and there's linemen and yeah, it would have been. I'll be honest with you, it's being talked about in the comments. If Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback of the Browns, I think they're a Super Bowl contender. That's how bad I think Baker Mayfield is.
Do you think that's worth a look? Trying to
He
make a trade?
couldn't learn the system that quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem with trading a quarterback mid-year is he's not going to learn that system that quick. So, I mean, it would be one thing if it was one of the 40-11 systems he's already played in, but, to my knowledge, it's not.
Right.
Because he's never played in Minnesota, so he's never played for Stefanski. I mean, this is the shit rolling downhill when you screw up a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
And
They
it
made
was
the wrong
laughably predictable to me.
Yeah. I mean, hell, on draft night, I don't think I ever laughed so hard. Because you tried to tell me before the draft, oh, they're taking Baker Mayfield.
I'd already been told that point blank.
And I didn't want to believe it because it was the stupidest thing
I had a
ever
reporter
heard.
from Cleveland point blank tell me they're taking Baker Mayfield. Like, if you want Darnold, you're going to have a shot at him at 3. I mean, Baker Mayfield was enough for me to I was ready to burn everything Jet-related I had if we took Baker at 3. After we had traded up to do it.
You probably would have.
Oh, I no doubt would have. There's very little that could get me to leave the Jets. Baker Mayfield's one of them.
No, I'm saying your team probably would have done that.
Oh, we 100% would have. Because Mike McCagnon loved him, which is why he's also out of a job.
But the Cleveland Browns, unfortunately, are stuck with him. And I don't think that they're going to make a change anytime soon. Do you?
It's getting thin icy. I mean, I don't think the Bengals can make him look all that bad, but the Raiders could. They play the Raiders next week. I could see a path. If they lose, I mean, they will have played 3 games against good teams. If they're 0-3 in those games and have been drilled in all 3 of them, I can see a path where you look at Case Keenum. I mean, Case Keenum's been a starter on a team in an NFC Championship game recently.
Yep. Just 3 years ago.
I mean, and I'm not saying he's great. I'm saying he's a better game manager than Baker Mayfield is. And do I see a path where he winds up – do I see a path where Baker Mayfield, no injury, doesn't start all 16 games? Absolutely. I absolutely do. And I think he was taken out Sunday against Pittsburgh for being bad, and this injury is a fictitious load of bullshit.
The rib injury is just
yeah,
a cover-up.
they took him out because he was terrible.
And they had already lost the game. I mean, it's like Tim Boyle coming into play for Aaron Rodgers. That wasn't anything to do with Aaron Rodgers.
weren't down
they
to
were
that level
never
yet.
coming back.
They weren't down to that level when Baker went out. Pittsburgh scored at least a touchdown in the fourth quarter. I mean, they scored 2 after Baker came out. I want to say it was 24-6 or something like that when he came out. I mean, it was
24-7.
what was it?
24-7.
24-7. He came out when it's 24-7. I mean, that game's still. I'm not saying it's within reach, but it's still attainable.
Yeah.
You're not taking him out unless he's hurt, or you think the backup gives you a better shot, and that's what I think happened. Chris Hadenfield just said in the comments, do they even exercise the fifth-year option on him? I would say no.
No, hell no.
Because, I mean, it's going to be $30 million.
Yeah, no,
I don't see a path
absolutely
they're
not.
paying him $30 million under any circumstances.
This is his last shot. And if they don't get any major wins this year.
Well, they have to make the decision on his option before next season starts. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I'll tell you right now, for me, this would be the easiest decision in the world. We need to find a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of them in this draft.
And Baker's not it. And he's never shown any, aside from maybe like 2 games at the end of his rookie year, the last couple of weeks of the season, he's never shown any progress that he can be, even a solid starter.
He can beat
the
up on
NFL.
bad teams. Mm-hmm. He's very good at beating up on bad teams. Mm-hmm. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. He's very good at beating up on bad teams.
Yep. And the good thing for Browns fans is that their schedule is loaded with bad teams.
It is.
Coming up later on this season. Like you said, Las Vegas is one of the few good teams they have, Tennessee and Baltimore, and then Pittsburgh again. And they're going to lose all of those games, I have no fear. I think the Texans, I think he would survive if they lose to the Raiders. So say they beat the Bengals this week. Mm-hmm. They lose to the Raiders next week. Say it's respectable. Say it's a 10-point loss or something. Mm-hmm. Then they lose to Houston.
Which
then
they
it'll
could.
be go time.
I think they're closer to Houston than they are to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. But once they hit the Houston game, I think that could be the make or break.
I agree with that. I could see that.
And then they got Philly after that.
Well, I mean, then you're at a point where the schedule is god-awful after that. I mean, they don't play hardly anybody for the rest of the year. I mean, they still got to play Pittsburgh and Baltimore, but other than that.
In Tennessee.
Yeah, you're more sold on Tennessee than I am. But sure, I'll give you that one, too.
Well, they are 5-0.
Yeah, they didn't mean to.
They
shouldn't be. It's because it's 2020 and everything's backwards and the rules don't matter and the points don't count. So.
I got into a Facebook discussion earlier today about the best team, who's the best 5-0 team right now in the NFL. And to me, it's the Steelers. It's not even close. They're the only complete team among the 5-0 teams. Seattle can't play defense, and they won't be able to outscore everybody for the rest of the year. And then you look at the Tennessee Titans; they have Ryan Tannehill. I'm sorry.
I like how your explanation was exactly verbatim what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, it's like I'm not.
Their
trusting
Ryan Tannehill-ness is something that's not going to change, and it's something I can't get behind.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. And I don't think there's an argument against it. I get they run the ball good. I understand that they, excuse me.
There you go.
Shut up.
Run the ball real good.
They run the ball good.
They run the ball real good.
They run the ball well.
Ain't got no gas in it.
Tannehill has been efficient since he's been there, but I can't believe in it. I really cannot believe in it. To me, he's more Baker Mayfield than Russell Wilson.
So it's about time for us to get out of here. Tomorrow we debut a new segment that I am super excited about. Nobody in this building knows what it's about except me. I'm the only one, and I'm refusing to tell them.
Well, tell them.
I'm not telling them either. It's a new segment that I'm very excited about. It's going to make you lots and lots and lots of money. If you like money, you will like this segment, and it's called "It Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None."
Nice.
I cannot wait for this.
Of course, we'll also go over the biggest weekend matchups tomorrow on the program, as well as talk about that big fight coming up on Saturday. I've been getting amped for that ever since we got off the air.
Now that I know it's at 2:00 in the afternoon, I'm super excited about it. We will actually be at Fat Cats off of Hendersonville Road in South Asheville for the fight, 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon. I've known the guys that own that place forever. They're fantastic people, and now that we've gotten to a point where we can get back into buildings and things like that, I want to watch a fight there because it's one of my favorite places to watch a fight in this city. So come see us, 2 p.m. Saturday, Fat Cats in South Asheville.
All right, and of course,
The fight was tonight.
Nope.
no.
You guys aren't live tweeting the debate?
Oh, fuck.
Oh. Yeah, I'm debated out. I've seen all the Trump Biden shit I can handle.
I've got Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants to watch.
Yeah.
That should tell you all you need to know about how excited I am about the election.
If
Fuck
I wanna
the debate. I'm watching shitty football.
If I want to see two homeless old people yell at each other, I'll go downtown and find a trash can fire. I'm good. Yes. I'll pass.
Oh, it is the Sportsocracy. Follow it on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yep.
Be sure to like it, share it, and follow it. We will be with you on the radio side this afternoon on ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app with the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene. Again, follow us at the Sportsocracy. We will see you right here again on Facebook and YouTube Live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Have a good evening. Enjoy the shitty football. The debate.
Look at this. I love
Now.